I mean, think about that person you hire in from a company that they already think they know everything, right? We do that, don't we? Sometimes we hire in people that think they know everything already. And then you have to deal with them. Then you mix that in with this group, and all of a sudden, it throws it all off, doesn't it? Because, again, you're bringing that person into the culture, and it changes it, doesn't it? So building that culture, understanding the fact that it takes something to make this family run smoothly, doesn't it? The good part is that what I did was I was smart enough to take the 9-year-old and put her with the 17-year-old. And that's the thing, like in your salon, if you have a great person in your store, put the new person by them, right? Because really what started happening is mentoring, where Morgan and Christine started to mentor Morgan, where she started to teach her some of the things she needed to do. And guess what? She bought in. So all of a sudden, my salon started running much smoother, doesn't it? I mean, your store starts running smoother all of a sudden when everybody's working together. Doesn't that make sense? Because in everybody's store, once you work, what happens then? The salon starts doing what? Starts getting busier, doesn't it? I mean, the salon starts getting busier. And once the salon starts getting busier, all of a sudden, what do you have to do next? As it keeps getting busier, keeps growing, you need to hire someone new, don't you? Oh, look at him. Is he cute or what? Does he look like me? I was in Orlando, Florida, and I was just getting ready to do a presentation like this for a group of managers, and I get a phone call, and it's my wife, and she says, honey, I'm late. For what? I mean, what are you late for? I mean, I had no idea what she was talking about. I am late. There's Logan. So that kind of tells you what it's like, right? Now I'm 49. Do you think I wanted a baby? I'm sorry. I get a little misty after I start talking about that. Wasn't quite in the game plan. You know what I mean? But guess what? The thing is that if you look at Logan, what happens is this is like your kid out of beauty school. Am I right? He's that new kid out of beauty school because all they know how to do is cry, poof, and pee. They think they know more than they do. Does that make sense? They're that new beauty school kid that comes in and thinks they know everything, but guess what? They really don't. Do they? And see, the greatest part about this for me was when Logan was born, what it did is it opened up my mind and my checkbook. But it opened up my mind to the point to say, you know what? Really, if I have this new kid out of beauty school, how do I get this kid up to the 9-year-old level or up to the 17-year-old level? Does that make sense to you? Where when you get a new kid from beauty school, sometimes you just assume that they know what they're doing, and we don't take the time to train them the way they need to be trained. Right? Because as stylists and managers, when I got to beauty school, I was not trained that well. No one really took the time with me. They just said, okay, here's your stuff, go. Right? And when you get a new kid like that, they don't know how to do anything except pass the boards, do they? So the thing is as stylists, as managers, and as mentors, if you're bringing in that culture, this new kid comes in, all of a sudden, like I said earlier, it changes the whole culture again, doesn't it? It changes that whole culture again. Because that's the way that, especially something that new. Because here's what happens, people, is that the 9-year-old employee and the 17-year-old employee all of a sudden start going to the manager because guess what? They don't quite have, I'm jealous, right? Because guess what? The manager's spending more time with the new kid than she is with you. So all of a sudden they get mad, don't they? The stylists get frustrated. They start causing trouble because the manager's spending more time with the new kid and not necessarily with the rest of the staff. So they start causing problems, don't they? So when you have that culture change again, that's the part which you have to look at and say, you have this new guy in the store. It is your responsibility as managers and stylists to make this person successful, right? I mean, really, when you became a manager, you really decided that that day is that now my job is to really make everyone in my store successful, isn't it? That really is our job. That's what we've decided to do when we took that responsibility. We are going to take these people and make them all successful. That's our job. Sometimes we forget that. And that's where it's easy sometimes when you bring in a new kid and you spend so much time with the new kid that you really don't realize that you're not doing what you're really there to do, which is help everybody. Follow where I'm going? Okay, good. Oh my God. Isn't that a happy little salon? Isn't that the cutest little salon you've ever seen? But aren't we cute? Come on, aren't we cute? Yes. Remember who signs the checks? That would be me, all right? It's a cute little group. All right, let's go on. All right, now, see, here's the thing. When you look at this, we're really two people, kind of, aren't we? We're really two people. We're really down here. We're kind of crabby sometimes, aren't we? We're kind of crabby. Matter of fact, every day you get up, I mean, when I got up this morning, I thought, I don't want to get up. I don't want to have to go talk to all those people. This is tough. I was crabby, I was cranky, right? I mean, aren't we that way every day sometimes? It's like, I got to go talk to these people. I got to get up and take a shower and get dressed. I want to just stay in bed. Don't you feel that way? Don't you feel that there's a lot of times? Matter of fact, it happens to me 5 or 6 days a week. When I'm laying in bed, it's like, oh my God, I got to catch a plane. I got to fly to this place. I got to do this. There's all those things. But we're down here a lot of the times in the morning, aren't we? When we get up. Now, clients don't want to come to that salon, do they? Clients do not want to come to that salon, but sometimes they do, don't they? Sometimes they come to that salon down there. And when they come to that salon down there, what happens is, guess what? They probably won't come back, will they? Is because when you're down there, you ain't going to retain the clients. All right? It's not going to happen. See, you guys didn't travel all the way here to see this guy. You traveled all the way here to see that guy, didn't you? So you traveled all the way here to see this guy, not this guy. And that's the part where you have to realize in your head that somewhere you've got to change the switch. You've got to switch it on. You've got to turn it on because the clients know too, don't they? The clients know too. And for me, I mean, I like playing music. I always get dressed in the morning with music on. 25, 30 cups of coffee. I'm good to go. I'm ready to talk. And I could talk here all day. Steve doesn't have enough film. I could talk all day. But when you think about it, isn't it true when you're building that culture, clients want to come to this, don't they? They want to come to that salon. They don't want to come down here. Now, here's the thing. The one thing about managers and the power that we have that sometimes we don't even realize is that if you walk in the salon as a manager in that mood, guess what? You're going to bring the whole salon down, aren't you? Because you walk in, oh, Dennis is in that mood again. Don't talk to him. He's ready to blow. Am I right? Stylists are like, yeah. It can kind of really take it. I mean, it's not as much fun to come into that salon as the better mood the manager's in that day kind of dictates the better mood that everybody else is going to be in, isn't it? Sometimes I say hire for personality and then teach them the skills later. Hire someone excited, someone fun, it's fun, and then we can teach them how to cut hair later, right? I mean, I think that's an interesting point, is how to look at it. Because it really is the personality that retains the client, because the thing is that clients don't know the difference between a good and great haircut. They do know the difference between good and bad service, though, don't they? And that's the part you have to remember, is that they know the difference between good and bad service. And like I said earlier in the beginning, is that what happens in one salon affects all the rest, don't they? So I put it on a chart, and I chart it out. And as we look at it, you know, you would see the line there and understand that there's a line between good and bad. Make sense? I mean, when I look back at my career, I made $4,478.50 my first year out of beauty school. Thank you very much. That was very good. Thank you. Now, my first day in beauty school, the first haircut I did took me all day. Took me all day. This little gray-haired lady sat in my chair, and she took me all day to cut her hair. I had to buy her lunch. She was there so long. But the thing was, is that guess what? She left me 50 cents. That was nice. So when I say I made $4,478.50, she was the 50 cents. But I'll tell you where it started. And there was a reason that I did make that, and I really didn't realize it till afterward. What happened is that when I got out of beauty school, I was jazzed up to go to work. I was excited. I was pumped up. I was jazzed. I was ready to go, cut my first client, do the best job that I can and build my career. Weren't you? I mean, all of you were that way, and I know I was. I was jacked up. I was ready to go. But I made a huge error. And you know what that is? I was up here, ready, excited to go in, but guess what happened? I walked in to the salon, and I went in the back room. Isn't it nasty in the back room? All bad things happen in the back room. Because you walk back there, and all the rest of the stylists go, "This place sucks. I don't know why you're here. We're not making any money, so I don't know why you even came here. What'd you come here for?" Am I right? No. Sorry. But see, what happened was I went in and the culture was totally different than I expected. Because doesn't the new guy buy into when the culture's bad? The newest person that comes in, walks in that back room, all of a sudden if the culture's bad in that store, they start believing it, don't they? I mean, it got so bad for me because it was everybody else's fault but mine why I wasn't making any money. Right? It's everybody else's fault why I wasn't making any money. I mean, it got so bad I hated the owner. I hated his wife. I hated his kids, because it was like his fault why I wasn't making any money. It wasn't mine. It was his. And then you're in the back room. Matter of fact, it got so bad that I was in charge of the meeting after the meeting. Did you ever have that? You guys have a salon meeting, and then you go out to have a cigarette? And I'm back there. I don't care what she says. I ain't doing it. And you have meetings like that? Where it's like you have the meeting, then all of a sudden you go outside afterward and have your own little agenda. That's where I got. I was the leader of the pack. But the greatest thing is about being down here is that you're not alone. It's easy to pull people with you. It's like, this is fun. I can make everybody miserable and have nobody make any money. But all of a sudden, one day, I realized I made $4,478.50. Guess what? I needed to make more money, didn't I? Now, see, D people make money, and that's the thing I like to explain. D people make money because they're great with their clients. They meet a person in your salon that's a wonderful haircutter, that's great with they're great with their clients, but they're not necessarily good coworkers. They're the prima donnas. Do you have any of those? I don't do towels. I don't sweep hair. I'm an artist. Yeah, whatever. You're an artist. People say, "Dennis, what do you do with that person?" I say, "Fire them. I don't care what they do, fire them." Why? Because it takes more than one person to run a store, doesn't it? It takes a group of people to run a salon and make it successful. It takes a group, not just one. Now, here's the part. The part that you have to understand is that communication really is the key to this. Communication is the key. Because what happens is there's a lot of times people down here don't necessarily know they're down there, do they? Because sometimes it's the kind of thing as a manager or a stylist that what happens is when you're down here, you're living with a bunch of people. Now, I was lucky. I really was lucky. I had a manager that realized that I had potential. I had potential. And what he said to me, and he is the only reason I'm standing here today. The only reason I'm standing here today. Do you think when I got out of beauty school, I thought I'd be a vice president of the largest hair company in the world? You think I thought that when I got out of beauty school? Well, when we go back through this and you look at this chart, D people can get up here because of communication. Does that make sense? D people can bring themselves back up because it's communication. You ever seen the movie or the TV show Nanny 911? I mean, if those were my kids, I'd hang myself. Wouldn't you? I mean, the thing about it is, but what happens at the end of the show is when you take your family and you communicate, the better you communicate with your family, the better it gets, doesn't it? And again, like I said, is what you're really trying to do is make money for everybody. Because if everybody makes money in cost cutters, guess what? This whole room will be much happier next year, won't it? It'll be much more excited next year because the thing will be is that everybody's in it together. And that's the part you have to understand, is that we're all in this as a group. We all work for Regis Corporation, but in our world, cost cutters is where we are, right? So we want to make it the best we possibly can. And that's what this is all for. Now, see, here's the thing that happens. When I made $4,478.50, the part that I didn't quite understand, and when I did realize that I had to get better, was my manager said, Dennis, you got potential. You're going to be better only if, guess what, you want to be. Right? Only if you want to be. I mean, because he could not change me. Literally, I had to change in my head. Right? Because watch what happens. When I made $4,478.50, what happened was, whoop, getting married. Whoop, having a baby. Whoops, need a house. My life was changing, wasn't it? All of a sudden, I wasn't 22 anymore. All of a sudden, my life started changing. I needed more things, didn't I? Whoop, had to buy another car. Getting divorced. No, that's not. I shouldn't have said that one. Cost me half. No, I got to start over. But what happens is, does it? Your life changes, doesn't it? Your life changes. Your needs change as you get older. Your needs change. Because like I said, the difference between 29 and 49 was I blinked. Right? I mean, the difference between your age today and 49 years old is I blinked so fast that I didn't know that I was going to be this old so fast. It seemed like yesterday that I was just cutting hair that first day, right? And that's the thing. As your life changes, the things that I say is that either you got to get out of the business or you got to get into the business. You follow me? You got to either get out of the business or get into it. Because if you're down here, trust me, you're not going to make money long term. If you get up here and you bring your whole salon that way, all of a sudden you're going to make a career out of that, aren't you? You can now make the money that you want to make. Because as your life goes on and things change, you have to understand that you have to get in. You have to become the best hairdresser you can be. You have to look the best. You have to dress the best. You have to go to as many classes as you can be, because it really doesn't matter what other people do in your salon. I mean, it does. But guess what? It's your life, isn't it? It's your life. So the things you have to think about, not necessarily that I ever talk that much about technical stuff. I'm more talking about up here, because I guarantee you you make more money up here than you do here, right? Because you got to be in the right frame of mind to make the money that you want to make. Because we all have the opportunity, don't we? Now, color classes, like I said, the first color I did is because she said yes, which was scary to me. I said, you know what, your hair would look great highlighted. And she goes, really? And I go, yeah. And she goes, can you do it? I go, sure. She goes, when? I go, now. I went, oh, no. I don't know how to do this. So I would just walk around in the back room and start to sweat because you're like, I talked the client into something I don't know how to do. Well, all of a sudden, guess what? Again, we start talking about mentoring. We talk about the fact that there were people in my salon that were a lot better at color than I was, so they helped me through it. Am I right? And the thing about it is that if you have people in your salon that are really good in color, please use them. Use them continuously, because the better you get, like I said, your life's going to change. You need to make more money. You're not going to do it just totally by doing haircuts, are you? Because a client can get a haircut anywhere, can't they? They can get a haircut anywhere. So if you look around this city, you can go to many places and find a place to get your hair cut. But like I said, it's not how many you do, it's what you do with what you have, right? Does this make sense, everybody? Good. Now, anybody ever see the movie The Kid with Bruce Willis? Anybody see that movie? It was a long time ago. It was a movie about Bruce Willis. He was turning 40. And at the time I saw it, I was turning 40. And his life was kind of a shambles. He was very successful financially, but he really wasn't that good. He had no people skills. So his 8-year-old self came back to figure out where they screwed up between 8 and 40. So the little guy walks in the house, the 8-year-old walks in his house, and he goes, Chester! Bruce Willis says, who's Chester? He says, well, you know Chester the Wonder Dog. We always wanted Chester the Wonder Dog. He says, I don't have a dog. He says, we don't have a dog? He goes, no. He goes, then you're turning 40.